Awesome.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. It's so nice to see all your faces. Well, I can see the tops of your faces, most certainly. I'm so glad to be able to celebrate Shabbat together this evening. And welcome to the Zoom crew. Shay, I'm especially glad to see you here this evening. We're going to begin our service with OZ, the Zimrat Yah, which is on page 6. OZ, the Zimrat Yah, Vayehili Yeshua. OZ, the Zimrat Yah, Vayehili Yeshua. Excited to invite somebody up to the bima to light candles. This is the first time that I've done this as the rabbi in this particular role. Joanne and Carrie, if you would come up and light candles for us. We are on page 9. If you've got candles at home, now's your time.
As these Shabbat lights give light to all who hold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who hold us. And their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who kindled light. So may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Amen. Thank you, Lord. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
We're going to continue in our service with Shiru Ladonai, which is on page 11. Shiru Ladonai, kol haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, shir chadash. Shiru Ladonai, kol haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai, kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai, shir chadash. We are going to continue welcoming Shabbat, singing Shabbat melodies with Lechadoti on page 14. La 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 Shamor bezachor, v'dibor echad, hishmianu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, v'shemo echad, v'shemo tiferet, v'likhilah, Yalai, Yalai, Chazoti, Yalai, Kakala, Yalai, Pnei Shabbat, Nekabela, Rikat Shabbat, Lehu Benemcha, Yimekor, Averacha, Merosh Mikedem, Nesucha, Sof Ma'aseh B'machshava, Tehillah, Yalalai, Yalalai L'chadodi, Yalalai L'katalah, Yalalai Pnei Shabbat, Nekabela. Vitoreri, Ivaoreh, Umiori, Uri, Shir Daveri, Kevod Adonai, Alayet Niglah, Yalalai, Yalalai, L'chazodi, Yalalai, L'katalah, Yalalai, Pnei Shabbat, Nekabela. Invite you to rise and welcome back into our midst. Boive Shalom, Materet Allah, Gam Besimcha, U'Sohola, Toch Emunei, Am Segula, Boive Allah, Boive Allah, Yalalai, Yalalai L'chazodi, Yalalai L'katalah, Yalalai Pnei Shabbat, Nekabela. We will continue with Hatzi Kaddish on 17. Yikadal, Yikadash, Shemei Rabba, Ve'amad Yirach, Yirteh, V'yamlik Malchuteh, Ve'chayei Konu, Yomei Kon, U'chayei Zechol Beit Yisrael, V'agala, V'agala, U'bizman Karim, Ve'yimeru Amen. Yehesh Me'Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam Olam fringes of night, the shadows of darkness soften, and earth comes alive with hints of light. My heart fills with fresh, bright hope, and the world stirs to give birth to color. Colors are secrets not seen in the dark, like the promise of God when darkness is visible. Creator, you who bring dawn from the darkness, break the used goblets of my yesterdays. Let me find wisdom in the shards, and grow in knowledge of your eternal presence. Baruch atah Adonai, Rabbi. Blessed are you, Almighty One, who makes the evenings fall. Shabbat Olam, Torah u'mitzvot, ukim u'mishpat. is our prayer for peace, and not just peace, but like a blanket of peace. The prayer I only said at night, and the fact that it blankets you, and the idea is that you are under the wings of the protection of the divine is imagery that I just love. We use it a lot in different places, but this is one of my favorite spots that we can find this imagery. So please join me. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu v'shalom, Amideinu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu v'shalom, Amideinu shomreinu l'chaim. Oh God, my steps, and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. So wrap me in your arms and guide my steps, and help me make this day a song of praise to you. So wrap me in your arms and guide my steps. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu v'shalom, Amideinu shomreinu l'chaim. We will continue with the Amidah on page 51. I invite you to rise. Adonai, sebachthitechu b'yadi tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu pieces of text, often taken out of context, but even in context is pretty great. The words are tzedek, tzedek, tirdov, justice, justice, you shall pursue. Is your favorite too? One of your favorites? Is your portion? It's our new portion. So, tzedek, tzedek, tirdov, justice, justice, you shall pursue. Tirdov, you may have heard. I talked about this week already, but you may have heard. Rodef, the name of a synagogue, Rodef Shalom, or Rodef whatever. Rodef means pursuer. Pursuer of peace is how that's translated, and Tirdov is that same Greek word, pursuer. So it's not this is not a passive moment in our text. Basically, what's happening in the Torah is Moses is giving his last speeches before he dies and before the people go into the promised land. Basically, Moses is telling the people, here's how to set up a system of judges. Now, we were taught this information already because this basically Deuteronomy is like the summary of all the other things that have already happened in the Torah. But we were taught, so Moses tells them you need a system of judges. You have to set them up so that there won't be any issues. And the thing that Moses is talking about with this tzedek, with this righteousness, this justice, is really about equality. It's that like very defined thing that you think, that very specific thing that you think of the justice scales. And tzedek, tzedek, tirdov is the idea of not only should you make sure that justices are in place, but that they are pursuing justice, and that people do not have a way to bribe the justices because of justice who was a judge who was able to be bribed. Bribe is therefore no longer impartial, obviously. I mean, but the Torah reminds us. Also, this is talking about how people are supposed to make sure that they are not worshiping idols, which is always a favorite in Deuteronomy, because Deuteronomy, the whole idea of Deuteronomy was that it was supposed to help centralize religion, centralize Judaism and put it in one place and give it a system, which is a conversation for another day, certainly. But this piece of text, tzedek, tzedek, tirdov, is something that I have always it's always been a really important piece of text for me. My dad, who is a law professor, has that piece of text hanging in his office, and the other person who had that hanging in their office was Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That drive for justice comes directly from our text, the idea that we are supposed to figure out what justice means and then pursue it. It's not just a question of what is, let's make sure everybody is equal, but a question of equity and of making sure that everybody is standing on, like, the basics are equal. And it's something that continues to resonate with me as we, especially as like the start of the school year, which is coming up really quickly. Kids are going back to school, and the idea of equal and like equitable education feels like something that we can all think about and get behind in this moment, and it's something that we can easily ask for and pursue. Not that it will be easy to do, but I think it is something that teaches us that is so intrinsic in our value system. So shoftim, judges, there's and then there's this whole bit about, so that's like the first part of it. There's this whole bit about what happens if you break all these rules, you go out, you're stoned to death, and is that fair, and is that justice, if we're talking about justice. So if you come to the Bahamas tomorrow morning, which I encourage you to do, we'll be here and we'll be online. Ricky's going to talk about it more, but this idea of what is just punishment and does a crime fit the punishment is a whole other separate conversation. But I love it when this piece of text comes up, because it reminds us of who we are at the core, which is a justice pursuing people, and what justice looks like for each of us individually and for our society as a whole is a part of who we are as Jews. So it is an important piece of text that I hope you will carry with you and think about a little bit on the Shabbat, what that could look like for our future. So that's my short and sweet message this evening. Marcia, I know you have some announcements to share with us, so I think this is a good time to do it.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Marcia Leibson. I'm the Secretary at Temple.
You want to stand in front of one of the microphones?
I would be happy to.
Thank you so much.
Sure. A little out there in Zoom land. And I'm also co-chair with Alice of the Ritual Committee, so if anybody would like to be on the Ritual Committee, Alice, I'd love to have you. Save the date, if you'd like to hear myself while you're sitting over here. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
It's so much easier to talk this way. Save the date for our next prospective member Shabbat outdoors. Next week is actually outdoors. Not this week, next week. In person next Friday, August 20th at 7:15 p.m. with snacks and crafts starting at 6:15 p.m., which is why I think we all thought today was outside. We hope you will share our incredible community with others and encourage them to come and experience Shir Tikva for themselves. You can register now at shirtikva.org. The high holidays are just over a month away, with Rosh Hashanah beginning the evening of Monday, September 6th, which is Labor Day. So it should be easy to remember the date. Services will be in person this year and will also be live streamed. An announcement will be e-blasted out next month with details and protocols. Check shirtikva.org/HHD for our full schedule of services and activities. Have a Shabbat or high holiday prayer book you borrowed during the pandemic? If so, please reach out to the Religious Rituals Committee and let us know. You can email info@shirtikva.org and we'll get it to the committee chairs. You can also drop it off at Temple. We want to be sure to have enough books on hand for our in-person services this year. And we also want to make sure that people who are not in person have a book at home. If you've been joining us either in person or virtually for Shabbat services and are interested in membership, please contact our Executive Director, Laura Lightberg, at info@shirtikva.org with questions to learn more. And for those of you who are members, please read your e-blast and your Schreier for all the things that are going on. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, and thanks for being our in-person host trustee, and thanks for volunteering, Michael, to greet with you. I saw that out there. I appreciate it. And thank you to Patty, who is our virtual trustee. I know this week some exciting things happened, including Michael and Angela Harris became members of our show, so we welcome them there on Zoom. My aunt and uncle, I'm really excited about it. So we're so glad to have you as a part of our community virtually. We are going to continue now in our service as we think about all of those people who are in need of healing of body and of mind and of spirit. This is, we continue to hear about folks who are getting sick, and we just pray for all of those who are suffering right now, who are in need of this kind of a boost. So if there's somebody that you are thinking of, I will invite you in just a second to rise and share those names with us, and then we'll pluck the names from folks online. We are thinking on our community this evening of Kathy Mast, Che Bukama, Martin Bernstein, Barbara Saul, Mark Kowalski, Josh Hurwitz, Dorothy Halpern, Jean Hirschfeld, Suzanne Kovacs, Ruth Zendel, Ellen Tickner, Chris Rock, and Danny Fenster. There's something you are thinking of you'd like to share.
Art Forming, Jerry Stone, Jerry Warner, Kathy Stone, Jerry Stone. Noah Shaw, Richard Swanpack, Jenny Brown, Atlas Moore, Renee Evans, Lee Matthews,
Ronnie Lakers Paul.
David last year. And trustee, the director.
Over this whole.
Let's see. I'm down here, so, okay. All right, Dorothy,
Linda Vanker Schaefer, Melissa Doak, Adele Buono, Marianne Lucas, Mike and Louise Randolph, and Megan Ramos.
Shay,
Eric Bukema, Betty Cooper, Rabbi Chava Bailey, and Mary Fowler.
Patty,
Mallory, Ophelia, and Mark Griffin.
our prayer for healing is on page 67. Yishaber Avotenu Mekor Habraka Leimotenu May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing and let us say, Amen. Yishebera imotenu mekor habracha avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We will continue with Aleinu on page 74. I invite you to rise. Aleinu l'shabech Adon hakol, l'teh kedula l'yotzer b'reshit, shelo asanu goy haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam helkenu kamen, v'gor aleinu ke'ohamonam. Ranahnu korim, umishachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai, melech al kol haaretz, v'yom hahu, v'yom hahu. We are on page 77. A prayer for the living. The Kaddish is not a prayer for the dead, it is a prayer for the living. It does not mention death, it mentions only life and the author of life. We pray Kaddish, we recall the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. Michael West, the father of Phelan West, Bertha Carland, cousin of Marcia Wengrove, Shirley Kane, mother of Jenny Koenig, and mother-in-law of Jim Koenig. We also recall those who died at this season in the past. Leonard Redmond Senior, father of Leonard Redmond. Miriam Slane, mother of Abe Slane. Arlene Callie, wife of Terrence Callie and beloved CST member. Gail Scaife, father of Art Scaife. Linda Reckla, mother of Rebecca Anders. Tilly Abrams, mother of Debbie Aronson. Jerry Shaw, brother of Arlene Shaw. Sam Solomon, father of Robert Solomon. And John Stern, brother of Jeffrey Stern. If there's anybody else who you are remembering this evening whose name you'd like to share with us, I invite you to do so at this time. The memories of all of them are with us. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we inform the goodness of life. We rise and join together in the mourner's cottage, the Kadisha home on page 70. Yifkatal, Yifkadash, Shmei Rabbi, Be'alma, Dibara, Pirute, Biamli, Malkute, Behayekon, Ugyomekon, Uhaye, the whole Beit Israel, Ba'agala, Bizman, Karid, B'imru, Amen. Yehesh me Rabba Bevarach Leolam Lomei Omaya. Yibarach Yishabach Yipa'ar Yitramam Yitnase. Yitatar Yitale Yitalal Shmei Kudisha Breitu. Le'elam Yitlo Birkata Shirata. Tushbekata Vanetamata. Ta'amiran Be'alma Yibru. Amen. Yehesh Mama Rabba Yishamaya. Bechayim Aleikum Kol Yisrael. Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimramav, Uyaseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'ol Yisrael, Bimru. Amen. May the source of peace bring peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, to which we say, Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimramav, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'ol Yisrael. Shalom Aleinu ve'al Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al Israel. We are going to conclude our service this evening with Kiddush. And assuming you're going to go have dinner now, you'll do motzi on your own. Or if you've got bread sitting in front of you, you could do the motzi with us. But we're doing Kiddush in the sanctuary this evening. We are, if you want to follow along, we are on page 87. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei beri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah banu, v'shabbat kodesho v'ahava u'ratzon v'chilanu, zikaron v'maaseh v'reishit, yilu yom tefilah l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, Ivanu acharta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodeshecha, v'ahava u'ratzon, minchal Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha'shabbat. L'chaim.
I will protect your brother. On the call,
Well, my friends, This Shabbat, I hope it will be a little cooler. I hope it's a Shabbat of power if you don't have it, and a Shabbat of peace and tranquility in your home and everywhere on this earth. May you all find a little Shabbat rest this weekend. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Everybody have a great
Shabbat
weekend.
shalom.
Yes, have a good
Bye,
one.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Bye.